And good morning, softball fans around the country. Welcome you one more time. The 2025 AFA Nationals here. Chris Allard with the call. We're in St. George, Utah, and it'll be a good one here as we continue on the morning session here. Good matchup here. The Firecrackers Hampt going against the Utah Heat 2008 18U. And it should be a good matchup here. Christina Haveron, the Utah Heat. They'll be the home team as we get ready to roll on here and starting things off. The Firecrackers Hampt Club, they'll start things on the offensive side, and we'll be ready to go here. Well, to get things started off for the Firecrackers, Patagonia. She'll step in. John puts it in play. We're ready to go. 18U. And a fastball upstairs will get you on the defensive side as well on what's happening with players there. Pitcher of record, Haveron, taking care of business there. We'll get you up to date on the rest of the defense. 1-0 count. And the ball's cut foul, straight back and out of play. And the count goes to 1-1. Callahan over on the first base side in the 3 spot. In the 4 spot, Jessen. 5 spot, Elmer. And the count is 2-1, says John, our head umpire. And the shortstop would be Grant. We're in the shortstop position. Well hit ball, right side. That gets through. So Patagonia on board, so a good hit there, Leon, and a good stroke for her. So a single on board to start things off for the Firecrackers. They open it up. And Dakota. Cesaro steps in with the runner over on the first base side, and time called, granted at the plate as Cesaro steps out. Dakota outfield center, short ball. And in time, they've got her tied up at third. And like that, the Utah Heat, they run into a jam, the Firecrackers, on her move. The leadoff hitter on the throw from the circle to the first baseman, and she was rounding second, the leadoff, Patagonia. They tied her up, and like that, 2 outs. The bags for Holiday. Asana, she'll lay off there. The count is 1-0. And a ball chopped foul, and the count goes to 1-1. And the count goes to 2-1. And a strike at the plate. The count goes even to 2-2. On the 3-hitter, Sana Holiday. Well hit ball right back up the middle. Holiday will get on board with a single. And with 2 outs on the books, we'll bring up Purdy. There's number 12 for the club. Right-handed pitcher plays some first base. Third baseman should be a routine play, and like that, 5-3 put out. And Utah Heat will get on the offensive side. Stay with us. You're enjoying the 2025 AFA Nationals. We'll be right back. And bringing you back into live action here as the Utah Heat convert a double play early on. The Firecrackers looked like they had something going on the offensive side. And to get on the defensive set for the Firecrackers, we'll give you a breakdown there. Higginson will lead things off. She'll swing from the left side of the box. The righty is Coach Christina Haveron. Heads down to the third base side. Manager of the club. On deck, Grant. Maddie Purdy. She'll run the circle for the Firecrackers. We are ready to go. Behind the dish, Chazaro, pitch on the way. Fastball on the outside part of the plate. And a rise ball there for Maddie. The count's 2-0. Purdy settling in. Higginson, the center fielder for the Utah Heat. And a 2-0 count as Maddie ready to deal. Pitch on the way. And a strike located there. The count goes to 2-1. So Purdy, the 2-1 count. And she runs it in the inner third of the plate, low in the zone. And the count goes to 2-2. Higginson looking for a knock here. Purdy looking for an out early on. Bottom of the first frame. And sends her down to first. Grant will step in. Grant plays shortstop for the club. And Higginson over on the first base side. Yeah, push bunt there, fouled off to the right side, and no play. The count is 0-1. Good bunt laid down. Third baseman will make the play there, but they'll advance the runner. So Grant does what she needs to do, and a good play off of the third base side. (5-3) put out. Sorensen takes care of business there. Haveron will step out as she hits in the 3 spot. She'll reload here. Runner at second for the Utah Heat. Pitch on the way. And a strike there. So Purdy locates. And the count is 1-1. 1 out, bottom of the first frame. No score. Utah Heat knocking on the door here. Pitch on the way. Purdy Popped up, pulled foul behind us and out of play. And a good stroke there, Haveron. She pulls it to the left side and out of play, and the count holds at 1-2. So Purdy with the ball and 2 strikes on the 3-hitter. And Haveron, pitcher of record, on 2-way here in the 18U division. Pitch on the way. And a line drive back up the middle. And rounding and checking up. And no play at second as that ball caromed off of Purdy's glove right into the catcher, slowed it down. So Haveron ends up at second. And runners at second and third. So 1 out for the 4-hitter Wilson. So runners at second and third here. And an opportunity knocking on the door for the Utah Heat. John puts it in play. We're ready to go. Purdy deals. And she locates the outer third. Gets the strike call. And a strike again. Changeup. Good pitch there for Purdy. And Purdy works ahead with an 0-2 count on the 4-hitter Wilson. And a ball is up. Count is 1-2. And a ball cut foul. A good swing there as Wilson takes a cut. And Maddie Purdy working hard. Third. And a good stop behind the dish. Cesaro keeping it out in front in a 2-2 count. And a ball hit to the left side in foul territory. And foul ball, left fielder moving up for the Firecrackers, but no play. Third baseman rolled off as well. Houston was coming in from the left field, but not an option for her, and Sorensen off of the third base side. We hold it a 2-2 count. Well hit ball, left fielder makes the move, and tagging up, the throw in, that's offline, and they got to play it third. Tag is on. And good speed into third base, so some heads-up base running for the Utah Heat. And a sacrifice fly will bring the run across. So Utah Heat and Purdy will open up here on Jessen. With a strike, the count's 0-1. 2 outs. Utah Heat gets one over on the sac fly. Ball's jammed in, should be a routine play, that'll do it. So on the third base side, they take care of it. Sorensen reels it in herself. She'll take care of business, but the Utah Heat, 2008 18U, they strike first, they put one over. They'll strand one. We'll head to the bottom of the first. Stay with us. 18U Division, the 2025 AFA Nationals. Well, ready to go here in the top of the second frame. The Firecrackers will get back on the offensive side, and we will be ready to go to lead things off. And a good hit ball, a good attempt of the shortstop side, laying it out. As Grant lays it down, and Fowler ends up with a single to start things off for the Firecrackers. So Rhodes will step in. Avery Rhodes ready to go here. And a ball's popped up shallow, shortstop. Shielding it, she couldn't see it. She lost it in the sun, and not in time. So Fowler checked up. She was at first, and it looked like a routine play from the shortstop side. But Grant just couldn't lock into it. She had shaded the sun with her glove and then lost it. So Rhodes on board with a single, and runners at first and second for the Firecrackers. And Amato will step in. So Amato. Ball low on the inner part of the plate to count as 1-0. And Amato looks at a strike, and Haveron evens the count here at 1-1. Ball and 2 strikes. So Haveron moves ahead here on Cam Amato. Kaya ready to go. Pitch on the way, and she'll take a cut, foul it off. As Kaya steps back in. And another cut, foul, straight back. No play there. Will step back in. Haveron working here to ball in 2 strikes as John puts it back in play. Pitch on the way. Right side should be a routine play there. And the ball drops in fair off of the first base side. And like that, which looked like a possibility of an out from the first base side, as Callahan rolled off and the ball dropped in fair territory, and a visit out on the bump from head coach Christina Haveron. So Amato gets on board with a little flare that dropped in, and that'll bring up Houston. And the base is loaded for Adelaide. So the base is juiced here in the top of the second, and Utah Heat were able to strike first as Haveron has a quick conversation with her ladies. And I don't think she's happy about that play over on the first base side. It usually is pulled in 10 out of 10 times, but in that case, that flare just gets away and drops in. So Haveron in the circle and Houston in the box. John puts it in, we're ready to go. And a strike, and now there's trouble. They're going to have to shut it down. Everybody will retreat quickly back to their stations on the pass ball at the dish. But a strike called there on Houston. The count is 0-1. So Ali Haveron will work ahead in the count. And Ali runs that through, and the count is 0-2. So Haveron works ahead here on Adelaide Houston. And a a ball swung on, fouled off, no play. So the 0-2 count, holding here. And on the inside part of the hands, Haveron runs in, and Houston pulls it foul. And swing and a miss, strike three, right up the middle. A good pitch there for Haveron. So Alley gets the strikeout, and Lacey will step in. So Maddie Lacey for the Firecrackers steps in with the bases loaded and one out. And Allie Haveron gets the strikeout, and she's got one down. Pitch on the way. Right side, foul and out of play. The count is 0-1. And Haveron comes in, and Lacey kind of has to move away from the inside part of the plate. And the count goes even to 1-1. They're going to come home. They get the force there. Will they get two? Safe at first, and everybody will retreat. So good play for Haveron on the force at home. And Sorensen steps in. Teagan ready to go. Haveron again should have the play there, and they do it. They strand three, so good defensive work for the Utah Heat. As Haveron and the ladies, they get out of the jam there, and we stay at a 1-0 contest. We'll head to the bottom of the second. We'll be right back. A little housekeeping there, cleaning things off at home plate. And we'll be ready to go as Maddie Purdy stays in the circle for the club. Maddie Chapman will come in to lead things off. Utah Heat will go 6, 7, 8 here. And Purdy opens up with a strike. The count is 0-1. And a ball. And a ball at the plate. And the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes for Purdy. Pitch on the way. And a ball low. And the count goes to 2-2 for Matty Purdy and the Firecrackers. And a ball up. The count goes full at 3-2. Well, the 3-2 count here. Purdy all the way. And a ball swung on, fouled off right behind us. And the count holds at 3-2. Down the third base side. And like that, Matty gets on board for the Utah Heat. So Aaliyah steps in, and a strike called on the plate. The count is 0-1. So Aaliyah Elmer looks at a strike. Purdy ready to deal. Pitch on. And Matty Chapman will move up to second on the pass ball. The count's 2-1. So a 2-1 count. Hitter Aaliyah Elmer. And a cut there on a changeup. Elmer with the K. Digs deep there. Jarvis. But and the out made there, so out, and then the runner's out on the throwback, so they turned it over. All right, we're getting too Well, bringing you back into live action, we're ready to go here in the top of the third. Back to the top of the order here. So Allie Haveron. 1-1 here. And Aaliyah ready to go. Pitch on the way. Pass. Ah, man. You're overheating. Son of a gun. Tell me what's happening. What happened there?
Hit to second, she bobbled.
All righty. Well, folks, we apologize for a little bit of a glitch there. And again, as temp. Step in, strike there, so Haveron will open up with a strike. The count's 0-1. Head umpired. John. And a ball is up. And the count goes to 1-2. So 1-2 count. And Haveron here to ball in 2 strikes on Cesaro, hitting in the 2 spot, and a ball there. The count goes to 2-2. And the count goes full at 3-2. So a foul ball. Good stroke at the plate, and just missing there. Haveron doing it. Play. So a good cut there, but fouling off. So Dakota. So Dakota gets on board. Santa Holiday will step in. Quick few down. They're going to run for perhaps Cesaro as the catcher. So a courtesy runner getting together here for the Firecrackers. Coach and they'll take care of that there. So Bailey Smalls will come in and run for the catcher. We're ready to go here as Holiday steps in. Chop foul to the third base side, no play. Count is 0-1. As the Firecrackers trying to convert something here and manufacture a run with no outs here, and it's a 1-0 affair. Pitching on both sides have been good. A couple of interesting defensive plays nonetheless. High fly ball, center fielder should have a beat. Haveron runs her outside. Good fastball, gets the outer third of the plate. And the count is 0-1. And back-to-back strikes. I mentioned Firecrackers knocking on the door with one out here in the bottom, top of the third. And a hard hit ball back up the middle. Rounding third, coming home hard. They'll throw it in, and no play there. And runners will advance up as the ball caroms off the fence line on the throw-in. So the Firecrackers get one on board and convert it into a double on the throw back into home. So Matt and stepping in Fowler. Out. Count is 2-0. So Lexi steps back in. Haveron looking for an out here. A pitch on the way. And jammed in on the hands. Routine grab off of the first base side. So no issue there. As Callahan pulls it in and Lexi will have a seat. So 2 down here. And Haveron working hard for the Utah Heat. Firecrackers will bring in Rhodes. And Avery steps in to face Allie Haveron. Slow roller. Back to the shortstop and in. We're even money. It's a 1-1 tie. We'll head to the bottom of the third. You're enjoying the 2025 AFA Nationals here in St. George, Utah. Chris Allard with the call. And it's a good matchup here in the 18U division. We will be right back. Third, a 1-1 tie, a good matchup here in the 18U division as Coach Haveron heads down to third. And she'll be ready to go here. Get her ladies in on the defense. Heat, number 20, Allie Callahan. They go 9, 10, 11 here. And Purdy throws the ball. The count. And a ball cut foul. The count evens up at 1-1. So a 3-1 count. As Callahan steps back in. And clipped into the glove, foul tip, and the count will go to 3-2. So a full count here. And a ball cut foul, out of play. And ball 4. And on board with a walk is Allie Callahan. The 10 hitter, Kesley Traney, will step in. So the Utah Heat here with no outs in the bottom of the 3rd frame, trying to move this game ahead a bit in a 1-1 tie as the Firecrackers were able to bring one over, but they stranded 3. Pitch on the way. Maddie, good bunt, push bunt down to the first base side. And she had to make the play all the way up the line. And so Fowler at first came up the line and had to execute the play, but vacating. She tried to put the tag on, but good speed and training, and she gets on board. So runners at first and second. And stepping in, batter Audrey Overturf, ready to go. Pitch on the way. Another bunt. Good bunt there, and they'll get the run at first. And she was down the line quickly, but a well-executed bunt, and they get the out. And steps in. So Leah ready to go. Maddie Purdy in the circle. Time called at the plate. It's granted. John, our head umpire, says go ahead. You can step out. We've seen situations where they don't grant it, and the pitcher batter steps out and a strike call. Pitch on the way. And Maddie will open up with a strike. Count is 0-1. And a strike on the outer third. At 0-2 count. She shakes off, doesn't like the call there. Shakes off again. With a smile, she's ready to go. And a ball fouled straight back. And the 0-2 count here. Leah Higgins. And gets the K, so the with 2 outs, and Utah trying to convert. So Grant just looking for a knock anywhere to frame. And fastball low, missing there. The count. No call there. And the count is 2-0. And she gets a fly out to the left side, and they'll leave 2 on. A good inning. We'll head to the 4th. We'll be right back. Now back to live action. A well hit ball right to and one out. And Lee Houston hitting in the 8 spot. They go 7, 8, 9 here. Right side, that's going to get into the gap and on board. And rounding second, she'll check up at first. They cut it in quickly. So Lee Houston takes a stroke. Finds the gap in left center. Not sure what's going on with her there. Down on the first base side, coach talking to her, thumbs up. Maddie Lacey with one out. Done over there, so Trapin pulls that in. Maddie moved off the barrel. So the defense performing well, very well on both sides of the plate. A 1-1 tie. Havron. '25 AFA Nationals here in St. George, Utah. All the folks behind the scenes, we appreciate all the help and everything they're doing to keep things moving on smoothly. Our umpires and, of course, the entire AFA staff. Over 170 teams, I believe, into the tournament in multiple age divisions and well attended at all the different sites. We're at the Canyon Softball Complex here, just outside of town of St. George. Beautiful location, destination point for sure. For all those families that are out here, we hope you're enjoying your stay. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Second base. John, a little housekeeping at home plate. We'll be ready to roll here. For her club. And a 1-1 tie in the bottom of the fourth. Havron will step in. Allie hits in the 3 spot. They go 3, 4, 5. And a strike called there. And the count is 2-1 to Ali Havron. Maddie ready to deal. Pitch on the way. High pop-up. Center fielder coming up, calling off. She's under the sun. And like that, she's got glasses on, but I'll tell you what, that gets away very quickly. As we've seen on both sides, Utah Heat similar So on board there with a single. Well, 0-1. And the ball is low. And the count gets even at 1-1. Count is 2-1. Plate for Wilson. And the ball's cut foul. The count holds it 2-2. And a ball. In ball 4, so Purdy thought she had it. And Wilson not biting there, and we'll get on board with a walk. Lucy Jessen will step in the 5 spot with runners at first and second. The door of the Utah Heat again. Getting there for Purdy. Five-hitter, Lucy Jessen. Sorensen in. And a good grab in center field. Very dangerous moment there. Get back. An excellent play in center. Takes care of that. Strike called at the plate. So Aaliyah Elmer in the 7th. So the ball for Allie. Jarvis. Count is 0-1. So a 1-1 count to Jarvis as she steps back in, runners at first and second. Off to the side, the count goes to 1-2. Out there. And a ball jammed in on the hands there, fouled straight back. The count is 0-1. And a ball. Two outs on the books here. Pitch on the way. Umpire. A 2-2 pitch. So a 2-2 count. Callahan steps back in, ball's upstairs. The count goes full to 3-2. Ball's hit shallow, could drop in. Utah Heat lead this one. You're back in live action. John puts it in play. We're ready to go. Ali Havron stays in the circle. Fatagona fifth, 3-1 Utah Heat. And the count is 1-1. And a ball hit to the left. Wait a second, and no tag there. And safely on board. Double. In. Count is 0-1. All the defensive players have performed well today. A couple. Count goes to 1-1. And a strike outside. Count goes to out down at first. They throw it back over. Charzar. Hits in the 3 spot. Run. As I mentioned, we have 4 scheduled for today, live streaming to the base-to-base fast pitch page. And a big cut at the plate. Havron gets that through. The count is 0. Will be at 225. Lady Dons Utah versus Watson Wolfpack Adams. So after we get that shaken out, 2 outs. Five-hitter. And Havron will open up there against Lexi Fowler. So Havron out. Well hit ball right. One over. It's a 3-2 affair. Utah Heat leading this one. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th frame. We'll be right back. Well, we'll bring you back in here as we continue to go in the bottom of the fifth frame. A good matchup. Both clubs getting after one another. The 18U division, the 2025 AFA Nationals. As we're ready to go, the Utah Heat lead this one. Maddie Purdy stays on in the circle, I should say. He's ready to stay on the hill. That comes from my baseball work I do. My apologies there. There's no hill in softball. And a cut at the plate. Purdy will even things up. It's a 1-1 count. So Kelsey, 10 hitter. They go 10-11-1 here. Traney got on board her last at bat, and Purdy runs it in and gets the lower third of the plate on the inside, and a good-looking pitch for Purdy as Traney lays off. The 1-2 pitch. Fastball up, count goes to 2-2. As mentioned numerous times, and I'll say it one more because it's impressive, the amount of good pitching I've seen here throughout this tournament. And swing and a miss there, strike three. So Purdy dials it up, gets the K, and stepping in, Audrey Overturf. One out here. Bottom five, 3-2 Utah Heat. Great matchup here in pool play as it continue to roll on day two. Strike there, so Purdy opens up with a strike. And the count is 0-1. Strike there, so Purdy and an 0-2 count. And inside pitch. Back to the top of the order. In. And Purdy ready to go. And a swing and a cut there on the outside. Purdy runs it through. The count's 0-1. And a ball low on the inner third. Purdy thought she had it. The count goes to 1-1. So Leah Locke's back in and Purdy ready to go. And the 1-1 pitch. And a cut outside. The count goes to 1-2. Higginson cuts it foul, rolling off of the third base side. That ball's out of play. And we'll hold it a ball and 2 strikes. And fouling off, so Higginson staying active in the box here. And Purdy will step back on. We're ready to go. And the ball's up and in and missing there. And the count goes even to 2-2. So Higginson looking for something to keep this inning moving for Utah Heat. They lead at 3-2. 2s across the board. And outside takes the cut. Purdy runs it through and a strikeout. We'll head to the 6th, folks. It's a good one, 3-2. We'll be right back. Well, bringing you back into live action, we're ready to go here as we are in the sixth frame. 3-2 Utah Heat. Firecrackers get on the offensive side. Rhodes will step in. Allie Haveron stays in the circle, pitching a gem both sides of the plate. Excellent pitching so far. Avery pops it up. Second baseman, Sunshine. She'll shade. Balls drop in. And a good play there for Jessen. One out. Amato will step in. Ball low. So Kaya looks at a ball. And right side. Ball's played fair and out. And right on it. So the quick visit here at the plate for a little bit of a consult, and the coach down on the third base side wants to just validate the calls. Line umpire. And they'll assess that conversation, and then we'll get you a call whether it stands. In the call will stand. 2 outs on the books here in the sixth frame. Houston will step in. They call her leave for short. Pitch on the way. Haveron popped up, could stay in the. In a 3-spot. Back to live action. We're ready to go here. Maddie Purdy stays in the circle. She opens up with a strike here. The count is 0-1. Kira Grant. They go 2-3-4 here. They're leading by 1, 3-2. Ball out. So Purdy. The 1-1 count to Grant. Ball pulled foul to the third base side. Coach Haveron gets out of the way of that one. Good footwork for Coach down on third. And the count is 1-2. And Grant check swing, fouls it off. count is 1-2. Maddie ready to deal. Pitch on the way. And that ball's deep. Well hit. It's got some carry to it. And to the fence line. And on her way, checking up at second. And Grant with a good push. And a double there. So no out. As Grant at second with no outs. And Purdy. And a dead ball hit by pitch, and Haveron grabbing her right arm, and she's a pitch. Take a second as Christina comes down on the third base side there, and hopefully she can just shake that off. Purdy throws hard, and she'll take a second here. Hopefully Haveron's all right. I believe not sure where that was, whether that was through the swing. And they're going to keep her at the plate, so it was through. Hampton with the ball going through there and just catching Allie on the right forearm. So that's where we stand. She'll step back in. She'll shake that off. Purdy ready to go. Haveron locked in. Right side. High pop up. Second baseman should have it. A little bit of trouble there, but a good grab there. So now a consult here. And the coach from the Firecrackers wants to know what's up. And they're going to check the infield. And they thought that the runner coming back was just kind of cruising in and the ball thrown. Did the ball get there before the runner? Because if that's the case, the out would hold. So we're just trying to get some clarification as the consult there with the infield umpire. So now they're going to do another review here with the home plate umpire, John and Ron working together. And they're going to just double check that because that's a dicey situation. The runner could be off of the base before the ball got there. So the fly out for the pitcher Haveron, that holds. And that's the first out. So they're saying the runner for Utah, he will stay safe at second. Haveron was out, one out. And a well-hit ball. Center fielder going back. That ball on the fence line. They're going to run in from third, so rounding hard and safe getting back. So like that, a big play, they'll pick up the run. And they get their fourth on a double. 2 outs on the books. Double correction, I believe we're at 1 out. I had 1, and I think John was verifying. So Utah gets the fourth, 1 down. And Lucy Jeston will step in. She looks at a ball. Counts 1-0. And a strike there. Purdy answers back. She'll even things up here with one out. So Wilson parked at second. She gets the RBI. And the count is 3-1. And a ball cut foul. We'll go to a full count here at 3-2. And a ball 4. So Purdy thought she had it. And a ball called. Ministered there. So Maddie Trappin will step in. Shallow knock right to the shortstop, and there's 2. They'll tie that up. So they double up the runner. To the bottom of the frame, Croction top of the 7th. John puts it back in. 7th frame. Time has expired. That's a ball. And the Utah Heat are the home team, so it takes 2 to get even, 3 to go ahead. But the Heat, no matter what, will get the frame. In time, good play. Havron rolled out of the circle for a minute. That got through. Shortstop recovered and executed well there. So Grant, on the way. Ball misses upstairs. Counts 1-0. Right side. Right fielder backing up. Gathers underneath. So a fly out for the second out to the right side. And Chapin takes care of that one, so she pulls it in. And Maddie will handle the second out for Havron and company. 2 down. Petgoni. Count is 0-1. Havron looking over to the dugout, getting the pitch call. The 0-1 pitch. And that'll do it right there. So that's the ball game. The Utah Heat. The 4-2 affair. A good matchup. The Firecrackers Hampt And both teams will continue to move on through the 2025 AFA Nationals. Chris, outstanding, well played, pitching on all sides, offense and defense. You're seeing some great fast pitch softball here in the 2025 event. For now, Coach Christina Haveron, her club takes the victory, and they will move on. Firecrackers as well. Pool play. Saying so long from St. George, Utah. The 2025 AFA Nationals will continue to roll on. This one's officially in the books. We'll see you this afternoon. Until then, have a great day.